Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we have been on the airways. Well, at least we're on YouTube here tonight, as this is the voice of the land. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching us at Voice of the Land Podcast. Hit that subscribe button. You're watching us, you got to be on our channel, so why not hit the subscribe button? As Big Voice Guy told you, the names match up with the characters. Kevin Arnold, that's me. Always Positive Jay, that's him across the table. And the guy that you never see, you're only ever going to see the character of him, that is Peter Tellep, our producer extraordinaire. We are brought to you by Vector Technical. They'll get the right person in the right job the first time. And I guess we got to start tonight with the Browns in a bye week. I mean, thank God for the bye week. That's our title. But after Andrew Berry's press conference today, Jay, do you feel like it's thank God for the bye week?
He had a press conference?
He did, yes.
Oh, I didn't listen. I'm sorry.
No,
I probably should have listened for this
all right,
podcast.
Well, we're up to a great start here tonight. It's
the Andrew Berry typical thing.
Let me just tweet out this link so a bunch of people are watching us. Not. Yeah. So, all right. So I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. For those that did watch it, you probably already know this, but Andrew Berry, when he started, he told the media that I need some time because I'm going to go through like a whole monologue.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot longer than normal. And he's like propping the guys, talking about the turnovers and all of this stuff. Then, of course, they got into the Deshaun Watson issue where he didn't play on Sunday. What went into that decision? Do you know what Kevin Stefanski said on Monday about that?
That he was medically cleared and that he chose not to play.
That he said he couldn't play. He didn't have his full faculties, and everybody would wonder what that means. Context clues, people. Context clues. He didn't feel like he had all of the skills, all of the ability, and they saw that he couldn't throw far down the field. He didn't feel like he could give what the team needed in that game. So he said, I still don't feel right. While everything looks right to the medical staff, I don't feel right. So Stefanski put it on Deshaun Watson. Andrew Berry said, we saw that he couldn't throw downfield. We made the decision that he couldn't play. While he was medically cleared, we made the decision. Do you have an issue that there's a discrepancy there in an organization that's supposed to be aligned? It was all about alignment with this Browns team?
Honestly, no, I don't. I didn't think it was a big deal.
All right, really.
Here's the thing. Like, okay, Deshaun wants to pull himself out. Okay, they said they want to pull themselves out. Is it are they not aligned? Yeah, that kind of sucks. But, like, I didn't care that he didn't play. I sat there and told everyone when Baker was hurt that he should have sat himself. Someone should have sat him. Like, something wasn't right. The kid sat himself. Like, whatever. I've gone on rants on Twitter saying, I don't really care what they say. An athlete knows his body better than anything. He said he couldn't go, then he couldn't go. I got to take him for his word. Like, that's how I saw the whole thing. Now, with them saying one thing and someone else saying another, sure. I don't know. I don't really care, honestly, Kevin. I'm more pissed. I'm still pissed they lost to Baltimore. I really don't care what they say. That's why when you're like, did you watch the press conference? No, I didn't. I didn't listen to it because I really don't care what he's going to have to say. I'm about results. I don't care what they say anymore. I could give two craps because they're just BSing me. That's what all they do is come out and give you a bunch of bull crap.
So one thing I know that you did see and heard and lived was the game against Baltimore. Do you think they really adjusted their game plan for Dorian Thompson-Robinson?
No. Didn't look like it. It looked like they were game planning for a guy that was...
Why? Like, I don't understand why and why they wouldn't have a second game plan, like, as the emergency break glass in case of emergency type plan, because he was the one throwing in practice all week long. We even heard today from Andrew Berry that Deshaun Watson couldn't even lift his arm for part of last week. So the injury was much worse than anybody put on, and we know how secretive they are until the NFL makes you put your injury report out. But, I mean, how do you not have at least, like, you're a professional organization. You should always have that contingency plan in case you know what hits the fan.
Dude, I don't know what they do on offense anymore, Kevin. Honest to God, I'm so annoyed by what they did. It was like really annoyed me. Is all I could say.
Wait, the offense did something?
Nothing smart.
I mean, I'm mad that they lost to Baltimore, but I'm more mad the way they lost to Baltimore.
Yeah, because what was still consistent in that game? Like, who had their full group?
We did.
Well, who had their full group? What position group had their full group? It was the defense. What side of the ball had everybody they needed? The defense. Who's been playing the best all year? The defense. What happened to the defense in that game?
Well, it looked like, they were playing great at first, and then our offense, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Then they get a touchdown. Then we keep getting 3 and outs, interceptions, turnovers, interceptions. How many times did we turn the ball over in that game? It's hard to keep people scoreless and play defense when you're...
We have 10 turnovers in 4 games.
Yeah, I think we lead, we're one of the worst teams when it comes to turnovers right now, so...
Yeah.
And you got this great defense, so...
And yet we're among the best in the league about average amount of time that our quarterback has to sit in the pocket. So, pass protection hasn't been an issue. The run game hasn't gotten going. Yes, we know Nick Chubb is not there.
Is this team just cursed, Kevin?
I don't know.
Did
they...
This is why I'm baffled, and I don't know what to, we have this supposed great quarterback now. We were supposed to have this great line, and we were supposed to have great receivers. Elijah Moore looks like the worst second-round pick we traded.
Dude's running south. He's not running north.
Dude, that one
He's not
play
even
was
running
so
east and
bad.
west. The dude is running south.
That looked like fifth graders playing. And when they don't know where they're supposed to go, and they're like, you're going the wrong way. And I'm like, dude, wait. You're a professional guy, professional football player, and you're playing like a fifth grade football player. Come on. Yeah, dude. I feel like this team's just cursed. I'm really bummed out on the Browns right now, and I feel bad. I'm not bringing, the energy, oh, we got it, and blah, blah, blah. Dude, it's just... I'm so sick of this offense. It is just
part
boring.
Of it is we haven't been on in a couple weeks, and we're already a few days removed from that, and I think a lot of people have tried to push it away as far as they can and as quickly as they can, because we're in the bye week, and this early bye week is just throwing me all sorts of off. But look, Miles got hurt, so you need to allow him a couple extra weeks. Deshaun Watson's now going to get 3 weeks before, if he is able to play against San Francisco, he'll have 3 weeks in between games that he played. But a guy that didn't play for 2 years, is time off really the best thing? For an injury, yes. For a guy that's still trying to get chemistry with these guys and actually look like a $230 million quarterback, I know people are going to come at us and say you're overreacting. They're 2-2. It's not like the sky's not falling. I'm not saying the sky is falling.
Dude, does something just seem off about that team?
It does. And we're not ones to sit back and just we're still fine, we're 2-2. We call out things before it becomes a time to actually
wait, hold on. Are we becoming a part of the crappy trash Cleveland media that everyone bashes?
I guess.
We're
realistic here.
That is one of the most annoying, old, tired takes.
Right. Now, are there people that are overly negative and just choose to be negative all the time? Yes, and that gets annoying. It comes off as negative because we're criticizing the team, but we're being realistic. I don't know, what gives you this good feeling. You beat Cincinnati, who is now 1-3. Their quarterback is hurt. He's not able to play very well. And they're looked at as one of the worst teams to start off the year. Can they get better? Yes, Cincinnati's shown that in the past. But if you look at it like college rankings, okay, we just beat this team in week 3 that was ranked 10th. They lose a couple games, they're not even in the top 25 by the end of the year, and that's you're looking at strength of schedule, then you actually look at the results and how that team actually performed. Well, you beat a team that actually wasn't as good as they were projected to be. That doesn't count in the NFL because wins and you have your division standings and the wild card. I get all of that. But for me to feel good and feel like this team is proving something to me, now the defense has proven to me in 3 of the 4 games. Right now, all I have to go on is that Game 4 was an anomaly, not the trend for this defense. And I feel like they're pissed off enough and Jim Schwartz is pissed off enough where those issues are going to get corrected. Can they condition enough to carry the offense? No, then you're gonna give up big plays because of the NFL. But overall, what do I have to feel good about?
Just pretty much your defense.
One win against the Titans, who absolutely ripped on the Bengals. Like that's a purgatory team. That's a team that's like right down the middle. That's going to be like 9-8, 10-7,
7-9 BS.
Always in the hunt, and yes, they'll make the playoffs. Mike Vrabel coaches very well, but that's not the top tier. Baltimore is one of those top tier, and they're in your own division. You want to win the division?
What annoyed me, Kevin, dude, they came in here and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna beat your behinds in front of your family, wife," and they did it, dude. Oh God, does that bother me?
They let them do it.
Like, if you're gonna lose, whatever, you lose, but lose with respect. That was just a beat down, and oh God, it's still got a bad taste in my mouth about that. Someone said, like, I think Andrew Berry said something about how the fans should treat the season or something. Was it something along the lines of, like, let the process happen or something?
Yeah, like lean into the process.
All right, dude. Andrew Berry. Hi.
I mean, he was in
my
Philly.
name's Jay.
He was in Philly for a little bit, and, the trust the process thing, that's worked out great for the 76ers.
My process started when I was, like, 13 years old, and the team was taken from me, and then I had to wait years, and then they came back, and then they sucked for a long time. Then they got good, and then something happened because, we're Cleveland. Flash in the pan. Then we sucked again. Then we got good for a flash in the pan. Then we really sucked, and I literally watched a team lose every game in a season and then win one game in a season. Like, I'm not waiting no more, dude. To hell with your process, dude. No more process. We're supposed to have this loaded team. No excuses. And now you're bringing up the process and leaning to the process? No, I ain't doing it. I ain't buying that crap. That's a bunch of crap.
And that's the thing. Like, there's going to be those people that tell you you can't say anything bad about Andrew Berry. You can't say anything bad about Kevin Stefanski.
Well, I can.
Or there's people that say there's also the people that say you can't say anything
good about him too, but
yeah, there's people who will say you can't say anything good about him. Right now, all I have to go on is the first 4 games. What did this trip to the Greenbrier really mean? Not a whole lot. What did their workouts and actually playing better against Philadelphia in the preseason mean? Nothing. What did the great games by DTR mean in the preseason?
Oh, you mean the second coming of Deshaun Watson?
Yes. Nothing. And that's not against DTR.
No, he was put in a bad position, getting crushed. But
completely failed was DTR. Because he was seen as the backup for the future, and they were just assuming he would never have to go in. Well, guess what? When you are the backup quarterback, the second quarterback, and you have your other, your third quarterback is more so a practice squad that you have to bring up as an emergency quarterback just to have that third quarterback there. When your first string goes down, who's next? The guy you saw as your future backup quarterback now has to come in. That future is the present, and the present is the Baltimore Ravens.
Look, and especially when you got a running quarterback, you don't think it's not going to happen? You think he's going to play all the games? Running quarterbacks very rarely play all the games all season long.
And
like,
it's all weird.
Even the rookie, Anthony Richardson, he's been out. Like, I could sit there and just go on and on about those guys. They miss games. And you got a precious 5th-round pick for a guy that you could have been used. And people are like, oh, we still would have lost. I don't believe that. You can't say that. Josh Dobbs went and beat the Cowboys, and they looked like world beaters early in the season. Like, dude can play. And he knew our system. And his exact same style. They all had, the 3 of them had the same style, which I liked. And they got rid of the guy who could have plugged and played for you because they thought they had the future. Well, like you said, the future became the present real quick.
Yeah, and it can happen just like that at any position. I mean, look, Myles Garrett goes down, you got some other talented defensive players, but that's where it starts. It's him. It's Denzel Ward. Look, you have to. No. That's why teams like the Baltimore Ravens do so well, and that's why, as many injuries that they're dealing with right now to starters and in their defensive backfield, why they're still able to have success. Why is that? Because the culture is established and the expectation is the standard. Their expectation of excellence is the standard. You don't match up to that, you're not going to be on that team. Anybody that is on that team, even if they're a backup, third stringer, they feel like if the situation presents itself, we're going to have a plan in place to make you successful, and you're going to play up to our standards. We trust in you to play up to our standards. We don't have that yet. And again, yes, we're 2-2. It's only the start of the season. There's plenty of time to go. But don't turn a blind eye to what is right there in front of you. Please don't turn a blind eye. You don't have to overreact, and it sounds like we're overreacting. We haven't done that for 3 weeks, guys. There's a lot of frustration that's built up.
I mean, trust me, there's a lot of good stuff that's happened this season. Denzel Ward is playing out of his mind. So is the other two corners, Emerson and Newsome. They're playing great. Our Delpit is playing Pro Bowl level right now.
As he was
Our
towards the end of
defensive
last
line
season.
looks great. Maurice Hurst, like I told you on the show before the season started, that kid would be a good pickup. And he's belly rubbing all over the place.
And there's a lot of good. The problem is, you know what this reminds me of? The Guardians this season. You do stupid things that takes momentum away from your team, and you never grasp it.
I mean, we haven't even talked about Nick Chubb. I'm still not over that. That hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish that game. I had to rewatch it later because I couldn't watch it that night.
It's tough. I mean, Andrew Berry did tell a good story today. You know, we know that Kevin Stefanski drove the game ball to his house, but there's a school just down the road from their Berea facility, like elementary school, and the school reached out and said, like, these kids want to, they want to drop off. They want us to drop off like get well cards for Nick Chubb and all of these little things, and like Andrew Berry told that story. So that's what Nick Chubb means more than just the football player. He's that role model. He's that star.
He's the silent leader, man. He really is.
He is, and it's tough to see that he's down, but more so, this team just need to get their act together. I mentioned the Guardians.
Yeah, you want to talk about a team with a good culture. The guy started a great culture there.
Yeah, it's time. The worst kept secret is finally official, and we will talk about it next, right here on the Voice of Land on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back to the Voice of Land right here on the Big Play Network, our YouTube channel at Voice of Land Podcast. Kevin Arnold, alongside Always Positive Jay and Peter Tellep. We talked about the Browns, and we know that there's still no culture over there, but a team that has had culture, but a very disappointing season, to say the least. The worst kept secret in town is now official. Terry Francona has stepped down as manager of the Cleveland Indians, after 11 seasons, 9 of which were above 500. The run to Game 7 of the World Series, playoff appearances, taking very little and raising them to heights no one ever thought they could go. That is why he's a Hall of Fame manager, Hall of Famer. Hopefully he goes in as he does go in, and because in the Baseball Hall of Fame, you have to pick the team you go in as, and hopefully it is Cleveland, even though he won 2 world titles in Boston. He was here longer and had more wins here.
Well, guess.
after his comments, maybe it was earlier today or yesterday. I think it was
if
earlier
he wanted
today.
to manage anywhere, it would be here.
Yeah, like if he's like he doesn't foresee himself managing, but if he still wanted to manage, it would be here. So like Cleveland means that much to him. He didn't win a World Series here, and I know people will lament that. And if you want to take your shots at him, this ain't the place to do it because that's not the show. We will.
He took the
I'll block you right away.
straddled team that the Dolans do to them and got him to a World Series. So,
and 90+ win seasons. There was a 100-win season in there. That was actually the year after the World Series. Again, since 2013, this guy has done.
Is he perfect? No.
No
one is. Big surprise.
I want to imagine that. Imagine that.
Maybe audio,
Maybe.
but he is AI. So
Yeah.
Mrs. Audio would disagree with you on that.
well, I'm not arguing with her. That is an AI system that's just too powerful for any of us to argue with.
You know, speaking of AI, just real quick, at ESPN Cleveland, Rob Lorenzo takes a lot of their photos. Our photos. I don't. I'll just say it. Our photos and stuff for social media. I was like walking past his desk earlier today, and I saw the photo of, it was LeBron kind of like looking over his shoulder back at Donovan Mitchell from their game last year, and like you can kind of like see the crowd behind him. And he told me he's like, the picture was actually only like this like vertical part of just as they're like walking to the basket on the other end. It's vertical picture of LeBron and Donovan Mitchell. Everything else around there to fill up my computer screen is AI generated. He's like, that's why there's no hoop there. I was like, I didn't even realize that. Siri, not now. I thought it was just like them like walking to like a corner, like towards like one of the benches, like it was like off to the side of the court, not straight down the middle. He's like, yeah, like they were walking straight down the middle of the court, but this is AI generated. Like, couldn't even tell. Couldn't tell the difference.
Well,
it's so funny because I was playing around with one of those AI picture generators. And, you guys know that Jacob and Joseph both play the drums.
Yes.
And I was like, I want to see if I can come up with a cool graphic for the drums. And the problem is the AI can't figure out what a drum set is actually supposed to look like. So what's
it, like a drum machine like they use in hip hop and stuff?
Well, no. So it was like, yeah, right. So it would be a drum set, but like the cymbals would either be just like floating in the air, or the cymbal stands would like go places they're not supposed to go because it couldn't figure out from like pulling all of the stuff.
What he's saying is even AI is not perfect.
Right. But it's actually really funny because if you look at it, it's like it's bad.
Yeah. You know what's kind of crazy is I just read Tom Hanks. There's a commercial out for him using his likeness. It's an AI commercial of him.
Oh my god!
And they didn't even ask him anything about it. And that's like part of that big strike is they could pretty much do it. There's like no laws against me making a Kevin Arnold and saying like, "Hi, I'm Kevin Arnold from blah blah blah," and I can have you endorse whoever I want, Kevin. You will be. I'm gonna own Kevin.
I think there's got to be some kind of law against it, but depending on where it's
not now,
but
there will be.
But depending on also where the commercial was, if it's outside of the United States.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard there's just like barely or no laws on it because it's just
about that. That was pretty crazy.
All new stuff, so they got to make laws for it.
But you know who's not AI and was perfect for our team here in Cleveland?
Tito.
The very team that Tom Hanks did the reveal for of the new name. That is Tito, Terry Francona.
That was the actual Tom Hanks.
Yes, that was the actual Tom Hanks, guys. Like he comes. I think didn't he marry someone from here? Like he comes back to.
He was
like got his
went
start
to
here or
school here.
something.
He was involved with the Great Lakes Theater.
Yeah, that's right, Great Lakes Theater.
And that's how it like helped him get his big break somehow. There's a tie-in with him being there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it got him on or something, but yeah, him being here in the Great Lakes Theater area is
probably
what got
bosom
him.
buddies.
I don't know.
You guys aren't probably old.
Oh, I know what that is.
Okay.
I'm cultured.
That show is hilarious.
You're cultured?
Yeah.
What kind of dog is Lassie?
I don't know.
I remember. I'm still not letting you down on that one, buddy.
It's a collie.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I know what it was.
Yeah, but like it wasn't worded that way.
No, I think they asked you who's the famous dog or something. The Border Collie.
Border Collie, yeah.
Those famous Border
You said
Collie.
Border Collie though.
All I know is it was the easiest question in the world, and this kid didn't know it was Lassie. And I'm screaming at the radio. I'm like, Lassie! Lassie!
Timmy fell down the well.
Kevin.
All right,
was-
well,
Lassie ain't
I don't want
helping
to take
Kevin.
away
Anyways.
from the brilliance that is Terry Francona, like off the rails type show, because he does not deserve that.
So you're not going into the YouTube comments then?
There's no YouTube comments.
Oh.
There's only one person watching this, probably me, because I got it open. So
Way to admit that.
We're just-
There's hundreds of people watching. Thousands.
there's just. I'll retweet the replay of this as many times as we can.
So, Kevin,
Yes.
what's your favorite Tito memory?
I don't. I'm always gonna remember being there for his last home game, because even up until those last moments of managing this team, you always saw like he was never about himself. He was always about the team around him. No matter what they gave him, what type of talent he had, how young these players were, he got the most out of them. Now, some people may say in his last season no, because they weren't as good, but there was just so much that went wrong, and there was just this eerie feeling around this team. Like, we kept saying like they get better later on in the season. Like, it was almost, you started to feel like you were trying to convince yourself, instead of like, no, this actually happens all the time. It was one of those weird years. Just like there's something weird that we feel with the Browns, there was something weird we felt with the Guardians. But Terry is like, he did all those curtain calls, kind of, but that's because Jose Ramirez is blocking the steps.
He's
he
like,
can't,
"Nope,
he
you
can't
gotta go
get
back out
in
there."
to the clubhouse. He can't, he can't leave the field. And it means a lot to Terry that all those people came. We ended up going to the game. We were just a little bit late because we both got out of work late. And we got in the parking lot, and like we heard the crowd as if it was like this playoff game, this game that really mattered, the energy that you want to feel, that we want to be feeling right now in October. I felt that, and I felt those goosebumps. So Terry Francona always being himself and being there for his players, like that is what I'm going to remember. Like those moments that, he kept everything in perspective. But again, he even allowed, my grandfather took me to all these games. And now, like, I got a little taste of what my grandfather got in the 90s. While I went to games in the 90s, I was at the age where it didn't fully comprehend. It didn't fully sink in what I was watching. I got some of those moments. I still got to sit next to my grandfather, who taught me the game and taught me about Terry Francona when he got here. And that's what I'm going to remember. Those moments. And so many moments that Terry Francona brought to this organization.
Peter, what's your favorite Terry moment?
I would.
Is it when you called that we would make the playoffs and everyone else said we won it because it was Tito?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's up there.
Is that a Tito memory, though?
It's
That's
not really
I know, that's maybe more.
That's
of a
a-
memory.
that's a braggadocious.
It's-
I did. It's okay because I did it for him.
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, the World Series 2016 was such a thrill. The 22 game winning streak, was my wife's aunt got a free house full of windows.
Yeah, my buddy got all his windows for free.
But honestly, like, I agree with Kevin. That last game, because you guys got there late, and the video montage that they put together before the game started, and all the fans cheering Tito. I was way more emotional during.
Goosebump moment.
Yeah, well, like the beginning and the end of that game than I expected to be. I don't have my Tito shirt because I gave it to young Lincoln.
Yeah.
So,
If you saw that picture.
Those.
but I can always steal the one that Jacob got.
Yes.
So, but it was actually it was just it was just weird because it's like an end of an era, and it's hard to really put that into words.
And it might seem like a cop-out to say, like, the last game. Like, it's like your latest memories. Like, that's so easy to say. But I look at that last game, especially, like, at home, where all the fans that got to be there got to say thank you, and people, like, looking through their TVs are just, like, just the just knowing it was the last game, like people thinking like, thank you, Tito, all the way around the city. Like the amount of people that showed up for a game when this team is out of it. It's a weekday night, late September. Usually the ballpark is completely empty at that point, and they say the fan attendance is 9,000, and yet it's like maybe 3,000 people actually showed up because 6,000 seats were sold and brokered off and never got those people didn't show up, or they didn't actually get sold again through those brokerage sites. People showed up, and like it was a microcosm of what Terry Francona, the way he worked his way into our hearts as Cleveland fans. We already knew he was connected with Cleveland when he got here, but the deeper that he got.
I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches in Cleveland history.
It goes deeper than him just being a coach, a manager here. Like one of us. And like more younger generations got to experience that when the older generations knew that he was already one of us from his time with his dad and being around this organization before. But more generations got that, and he got into many more people's hearts. And that game, the response that Cleveland gave to him, that was a microcosm of it. That's why it's going to be my lasting memory, because it just sums up all 11 years of what he meant to us.
Well, I'm going to throw this one for a complete loop because that's what I do best. And it's all based on the culture that he's created and his no-nonsense for crap. Mm-hmm. And my favorite memory, and some people think it's a bad memory for the Indians. I'm sorry. It was funny, but the way he handled it, I loved it. I'm sorry. It's when Trevor Bauer threw the ball over the fence. He came out there and he basically said, "What the blank are you doing? Get the hell out of here." Dude was gone. It has nothing to do with what happened.
Yep.
It's the way he handled it. He said, no. We don't play those games here. Get the hell out of here. Pack your bags. Don't even get on our bus. Get your own Uber home. Like, we ain't playing that crap.
Yeah.
Dude, he's never on it. Like, he was just gone.
As talented as Bauer was.
Yeah. So, no, I don't give a crap. You're going to do stuff like that. We don't have no room for that.
Didn't last year because of his antics. Clevenger didn't last year because of his antics, and that's because of Terry Francona.
Do you know how many Browns teams could have used someone like that?
They could still use
like, could you imagine what Terry Francona would have done to Johnny Manziel?
I mean, he wouldn't have been here.
No, he would have been gone after, like, they'd be like, you drafted this dude? I just cut him. It was the second week of training camp.
Terry Francona's the type of guy that would have been in that draft room and heard, he texted you what? Someone who told you what? Why are we getting this guy?
No.
The text didn't go through.
Oh, you're at, like, ownership, you're going to put you're going to push this one through? I'm out. Find another coach.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he wouldn't have stuck around himself. Like, if he was overruled, they didn't give him that credence, he would have left. The reason why he was here for 11 years and was able to do all of that is because the Guardians organization, as much as we get on the Dolans and what type of talent and payroll
we
that
don't
they
get
have,
on the front office because I think they do a phenomenal job. Even though
but just as an organization, yes, there's complaints about roster and payroll.
Mm-hmm.
But what they knew was put the right baseball people in place and go let them do their job. Don't meddle in what they're doing. Now, we'd like a little less meddling from the Haslam's, probably a little bit more meddling from the Dolans. But like down the middle, their approach to having Terry Francona here and allowing baseball people to do baseball things, like the Browns have always needed to let football people do football things. The Cavs actually let basketball people do basketball things. That was the culture, and that's
I
the
feel
respect
it's
that
one of
Terry
those,
Francona gets all across Major League Baseball.
It's going to be one of those things you watch. It's just going to pass from the generations on this team. The older guys that have played for Tito, like, this is how we play, this is how we learn to play, and that's how they're going to teach that next group, and then that group's going to teach that next group, and that's how you keep going. That's how you have winning success, sustained success.
Yeah. Now, who they bring in next, we'll talk about that as we go down the line. I don't really want to get in that conversation what other people have.
Yeah, who we get in next is who we get. That's how I would do it. I don't root or pull for anyone. Whoever we get is who I'm going to root for.
And just, be careful to get too excited or too down on who they decide to hire. You are doing that all based on what you just had for the last 11 years. It is hard to be the guy that follows the guy. Give the next guy a chance because there's talent here.
That you could say that to fans and ownership.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, you might want to give this guy a chance. He's a new owner, or a new manager. Let's get some bats in here in the outfield, please.
Yeah. And again, what have you done for me lately that always fuels what fans think? Everybody's going to judge this team next year based on what they've had, what we've been blessed with over the last 11 seasons. It's going to be a new era of Cleveland baseball. We have to see it that way. But with the talent that this organization has and the ability they have to still contend, if they add a couple pieces, the expectation is still going to be there. And that's not a thing against the new manager. That's just, you're not rebuilding. You should be just retooling. And hopefully we see that this offseason.
Well, we got a new season coming up, don't we?
We do. Media Day for the Cavs. Here in we're not close to Independence, but the sound of a dribble of a basketball is right around the corner at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. We'll talk Cavs next, right here on the Voice of the Land, on the YouTube channel of Voice of the Land.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land here as part of the Big Play family. Tonight, broadcasting on our YouTube channel at Voice of the Land Podcast, I think is the full name. Right, Peter?
Something like that.
Something like that. Just
Something.
Just
search Voice of the Land and
Voice
hit
of the Land.
subscribe. That's all we ask you to do.
Siri, subscribe to the Voice of the Land.
Don't do that. That's when. Stop it. She's. That's the AI system that is always listening to me right now, and I don't like that. What I do like is Cavs basketball.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Just
Media
every day
day?
basketball. I can actually watch on the Bally's app.
Yeah.
I think, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. I think we were gonna give. I don't know. I don't know what we do with our subscription because we paid for a whole year of one
Nothing.
team. When
Yeah.
we're supposed to 3 or 4. We had the option of. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
But,
you might want to go monthly.
yeah, well, we might not even be able to. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll get there.
At least some of the crack streams actually do NBA, they don't do baseball, so it was hard to even do that. Cavs Media Day a couple days ago got their first training camp practice underway yesterday. I'm sure they practiced today as well in Independence. And you know what was refreshing from Media Day? Yes, this team addressed their needs in the offseason and, don't condone the alleged acts of Kobe Altman. He addressed the media on that. He can't talk, just like anybody can't talk further about it because of legal proceedings, legal investigation into all of that stuff. But something happened and he feels awful about it. Should never have happened in the first place. Deserves a second chance, and that should not, and hopefully does not, distract the team, and they're always asked about it every single step of the way. What could distract them is Donovan Mitchell's contract, which we'll get to in a second. But what was refreshing to me, guys, was the free agents that we brought in when they were asked about why they chose Cleveland. They were interested before the contract was even discussed. Now they weren't thinking about this during the season, and George Niang even talked about that today. If you start thinking about as you're playing against a team, I would really fit here, you're probably not playing very well, and you're not actually going to get the contract you think when free agency comes up.
Yeah, that would be the wrong mindset.
Right, but once the season ends for your team...
That's that Odell Beckham.
Yes.
Come get me.
But the business side, once the season actually ends, if your team is out of it before the playoffs or they get ousted in the playoffs, like the Sixers tend to do, and they don't actually follow any sort of process, if you start thinking about the personal and the business side of things, like, hey, like I have a decision coming up. Am I going to re-sign? Am I going to look elsewhere? Both Max Strus, George Niang, I'm sure Ty Jerome, these guys were thinking about the Cavs in those moments. And the interest was mutual, and thus that they're here because they like the young core. They like how they're on the upswing and not like this aging veteran team that we're just trying to.
So you like that we're an alluring destination to come to.
We're an alluring
finally.
destination. And while Kobe Altman said that he talks to Donovan Mitchell about moves and stuff, just like, would never be admitted, but LeBron was a big part of what they did. Donovan Mitchell said, like, it's not really tampering. Like, I didn't have to make a lot of phone calls. I didn't have to do a lot of convincing. Like, I talked to these guys from time to time in the off season or around the season. Yeah, I made a phone call in these times and just saw what their interest was like, and they were already interested. So, like, there was no convincing I had to do.
I mean, thanks to Kevin Love, too. He was out there helping us out.
Max Strus, because Max called him when the interest was there and there was conversation starting. One of the people he called was Kevin Love. Like, what can you tell me about Cleveland? And Kevin Love tells him, like, great organization.
Raven Report, basically.
But loves Cleveland. Loves the town. Loves the fans. Yes, and Maxter's even agreed to it. Like, gets a bad rap and just the reputation it has isn't actually what it is. And I trust Kevin Love. And Kevin Love told me, you're exactly what they're looking for. You're going to love it there. It's a great organization. Go be you and go help them out. They're looking for shooters. Go do what they're asking you to do because you're going to love it there. It's great guys, great fans, great city. Love that. Love that we have guys, no pun intended, love that we have guys that are now out there in the league. Kevin Love not here anymore. Other players that these guys can still go to and, like, they get a good report back. They get good reviews back to them, and they want to be here. Like, we want people that want to be here. If you don't want to be here, then don't be here. I don't care about the he gets us type things. George Niang said, like, I seem to do better in blue-collar towns, and Cleveland's the perfect blue-collar town for me. I succeed in those situations. That's a he gets us moment that just draws you in. It's more about they had the interest before the Cavs even reached out. It wasn't the Cavs had to try to convince them. It was so mutual that it was easy to get the deal done. And I love that about this team.
Yeah, it's like when you were a kid and you're just like, and you're picking teams for a season or whatever, and you see that good team, you're like, man, I kind of really hope they pick me. They got something going on over there. And then they're like, hey, we want to play. But like, yeah, I want to play with you. Like, that's sweet. That's awesome, dude. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. And that means it's not just about money with these guys. They're coming here because, like, all right, these dudes are ready to go. They got, like you said, a young core, and they look like I could fit right in with these guys. They need what their needs is what my skills are,
right?
And I'm just gonna plug right in here, and it's gonna be a great time.
Now, I mean, I don't do this with the Browns either, but I'm not gonna let training camp and like things that are said and what preseason looks like determine how these guys are going to be. Like, that's still yet to be determined.
Wait, Emoni Bates is not going to be the sixth man of the year?
I mean, he could, but, like, not just because he's flashing in the preseason when they need guys like that to play and they're trying to protect the main players, the main 8 to 9 guys they're going to have a rotation throughout the year. I love that. I also love that Tristan's back because that's great leadership on this team. The veterans that they've added.
Toughness he's going to bring.
Toughness.
And playoff experience.
So here's an emphasis that I heard at Media Day. This team needed guys that talk. And what I mean by that, and what they mean by that, is guys that lead with their voice and not just by example. Like, they're not soft-spoken. They're not just like these nice guys. Like Jared Allen, I know he had a rough series in New York, and he's the one that's getting all the flack because he said that the lights were too bright. He said exactly what we saw, though. So people complain when players and coaches don't give us anything. They say a lot without saying anything. And then when they do say something, then, like, this person's got to go. They're soft.
I still think people blew that way up out of proportion.
Right. But he's going to play tough in the paint. Like, when the game is on, he's going to play. But he's not like this talker. He's not like that guy like to rev you up. He's not a Dennis Rodman. He's not a Draymond Green. You know, those type of guys that feed off the energy, and they infuse something into the team by talking that you know what to other teams or their own team, holding them accountable with their voice, not just, you know, nonverbal communication style leadership. You need that balance of guys that lead by example and guys that are going to lead with their voice, and they're going to call you out when you need to be called out on. So all of that is great. The thing that might hang over this team, even though he's got 2 years left on his contract, and you could already tell that maybe Darius Garland was a little perturbed with his little fun back and forth with Chris Fedor, and kind of had more of like an edge to him in his press conference. Being asked about Donovan Mitchell, is he committed here? Is he going to stay here? Right now, the focus is you don't get to start from where you ended last year, so you're going to have to earn your playoff spot again, and you get there. You need to do better in the playoffs. That's the focus right now. I don't care about contracts. We're getting into the season. This isn't the offseason. The business side will be tinkered with by Kobe Altman behind the scenes. What our focus is as fans, as media, is what is happening on that court, and that's what these players need to focus on.
Why would he sign an extension now?
I don't know.
When he can wait and make more.
I don't know.
So what is everyone worried about?
Oh, like if he gets to next summer, he's saying he could sign here. Like that's still a possibility.
But it goes up more every year, correct? You can get more
for the most
pretty
part,
much.
yeah. He said
So
he can make the same money next year. I don't know if it's going to go up next year, but very soon the NBA money is going to be. We've seen in all professional sports. Professional sport money is just going up and up and up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think everyone's freaking out about that too much, and like, oh, he's wearing a Mets hat. Like, dude's dad works for the Mets.
Oh boy.
And then he wore a Louisville jersey. He played at Louisville. Like, stop trying to create drama when it's really not there.
Guess what hat he was wearing, guys, at the Browns game? Guess what hat Donovan Mitchell was wearing?
I don't care what hat, but I'm guessing a Mets hat.
No. He was wearing a Cleveland Guardians hat.
Oh my God! So he wants to go to Cleveland. He wants to get back into baseball.
So he's wearing Cleveland gear, but he's also supporting someone he went to school with. They were two big time athletes at the same school around the same time, and they're really good friends. He wore a Louisville Lamar Jackson jersey. I'm sure he loved that Lamar helped with all 4 touchdowns.
It's a bad look, though. Who cares, dude? It's a piece of clothing. If that's gonna upset you guys that bad, you need help. I don't know.
Very rarely on this show do we tell people how to think. Like when the Deshaun Watson stuff happened, and all of those meaningful elements. We said this is how we feel. We don't. You feel how you feel. I still feel like you feel how you feel, but this is one of those exceptions to the rule moments where it is stupid.
Well, it's because basically we're telling you to not tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing. They're like, oh, you're not wearing what I want you to wear, basically. How about you just let everybody wear what they want to wear? Who cares?
And here's the hypocrisy of it all. LeBron wore a Yankees cap. We wanted LeBron to fully invest himself in the area he's from. He's from Northeast Ohio. You should have the Indians hat on. You should be rooting for all the teams here, but you root for the Yankees and the Cowboys and all that stuff. You should be all about here. This is where you're from. You should be about this area. Oh, LeBron's about this area. Then people are like, oh, that's just so fake. That's so fake. Guess what? When you were clamoring for LeBron to be about the place he's from, hello, where did Donovan Mitchell go to school? Louisville. Oh, his dad's a part of what organization? He's from where? Oh, New York. The Mets kind of suck, people. It's not like he's rooting for the Yankees. He's rooting for a team that can never get it together. Even with a big payroll, they can't get it together. But he's from there. He's from Louisville. Him and Lamar Jackson were there and are friends at the same time. He's wearing a Guardians hat because he is at a Cleveland Browns game, but he's also there for his friend because he's in town for media day. He's rooting for people and teams from where he's from. The hypocrisy is just ridiculous. Let it go. Cheer on the guy that's going to put on wine and gold, scored 71 points last year. Yes, he needs to perform better in the playoffs. Everybody on that team needs to perform better in the playoffs. But he is still a star in this league, and I would rather have Donovan Mitchell than not have Donovan Mitchell. We'll talk about the contract and how long he's here when it's time to have those conversations. Guess what? The 2023 and 2024 season, who's here? Donovan Mitchell. He's with Darius Garland and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And now we have Max Strus and George Niang. It's about how they play together and how much success they have. You need to have more success than you had last year. It's about product on the field, production, and results on the court. I don't care about what he wears elsewhere when he goes out to games. I don't care about the contract right now. All I care about is the 2023-2024 season, leaving me with a better feeling at the end than the crap I felt at the end of last season. And these players feel the same way, and that's what we should be focused on.
Boom.
Can't drop this mic. But we can drop a commercial on you from our friends at Vector Technical. They'll get the right person, the right job the first time. More information on them to come. And one last segment. On the Voice of the Land, part of the Big Play family on the Voice of the Land YouTube channel.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that is partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land, part of the Big Play family on the Big Play, on the Voice of the Land YouTube channel. I had that going so well.
Yeah, you did.
One final time, I'm Kevin Arnold. He's always Positive Jay. Peter Tillett behind the proverbial glass. These guys don't know what we're going to talk about, but Jay said something in the break and brought up a holiday that's coming up, Halloween. He's like, well, we could talk about our favorite scary movies, but you don't watch those. Yes, no, I don't watch.
No, you don't.
I don't watch scary movies. But speaking of holidays, maybe a little venting, but, it might get into different conversations. Before October even hit, guess what holiday is in stores already?
Christmas.
In September.
Yeah, Kevin.
Why do we keep doing this? Why is it earlier and earlier? It's not okay. I am the biggest fan of Christmas. I have a house now that I can light up like Clark Griswold.
Are you going to do it?
Probably not this year because I got a little baby at home.
You're waiting for it. You're just getting ready to be unleashed.
Oh, yeah. I have 2 boxes of ornaments myself.
How long is it till Kevin staples himself to the roof?
Staples myself?
When you're putting them up like... Tink, tink.
I don't know if I'm a staple, though. There's plenty of, command strip type things you can use. And
it's just from the Clark Griswold, dude.
I want them to flip the switch. At some point, my goal is, if it's this house that we're in right now or another house when we have to have more room for more kids, I want them to flip that breaker. Because cause the blackout on them. Flip the breaker because that hallelujah moment. I love that movie. But I won't watch it until December 1st.
Your love right there is why they're going to sell it. Because guess what? They're going to sell what people buy, Kevin. It's just the way it is. Like it or hate it, you can't stop it.
I hate it.
I
hate it.
Why?
Because no Christmas stuff should be on shelves and no Christmas music should play. At the very least,
if you're a business
hold on,
and you're trying to sell stuff, it should be, and people want to buy it. All right.
Hold on there.
Go on, so I can debunk you.
Nothing should be Christmas-fied, if that's not even a word, but I don't care, until at the very earliest, Santa comes rolling down whatever street that is in New York, past Macy's, and the Thanksgiving Day parade. That is the first time that it is okay if you play a Christmas song or whatever. Because that is the moment that ushers in the holiday season, the joyous holiday season that is December. Not before then. Guess what? It was September. It used to be November 1st, and that got me all upset. We've totally skipped over October. Now we're into September. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
People do stupid things. Trust me.
Oh, I probably just
all
got-
you gotta do is watch television and see what people watch. If I own, let's say I own J-Mart,
Yeah.
and then at J-Mart, people want to buy Christmas stuff in September. I'm putting Christmas stuff on my shelves to make money off idiots that want to buy Christmas stuff that early. I don't care if you like it
I
or if you
understand.
dislike it. If people want to buy it and I'm going to sell, and they're going to buy it, because you know damn well they're going to buy it because people want to get out early. There's people going to be putting up their Christmas lights and all that stuff like in the middle of October.
Okay,
So they don't want to do it in the cold.
And that I can understand as long as you don't turn them on until
Yeah,
after
I agree.
Thanksgiving.
Now, me, I'm like you. I agree. I ain't putting anything up. I ain't buying anything until after Thanksgiving is then now to me the beginning of the Christmas season. But if I'm a business owner, I'm saying to hell with you, Kevin. And I don't care if you hate it.
Trust me,
If
I've
these
worked-
fools want to buy it, I'm selling it, dude.
Trust me, I've worked
I'll
in
sell
retail.
it in January, dude. Kevin, there is a Christmas. What time of the year did you go to the Christmas store in Michigan? If you didn't go during the Christmas time, I'm gonna give you crap about it.
Well, I mean, we were up there at that time. We were driving back. But we made like a special.
What time of the year did you go buy Christmas stuff?
I don't know if we bought anything that time. I think we walked in to try to look around and like a visit, like a.
What time of the
I think
year?
it was July.
Thank you. Because people will buy Christmas stuff in July if they're being sold. It's Christmas. It's
All right,
a massive
it's not like
seller.
I'm living like within 20 to 30 miles of it where I can, like, like I'm
Agree.
just going in July to the Christmas store. No, if I had that kind of access to it, I don't
I'll
be
go
going
on
in
your
December.
point right there. People will, not just you, people drive miles in other states
that's
to go
not
to
what
the
I went-
Christmas store in
that's-
July.
that's
They
not
go
what I went
year
for.
round, dude.
That's not what I went for. It just happened to be on our way
How
home.
packed was that store?
I don't know. It wasn't too packed there, but we made it like 5 feet and everybody left because
They sell Christmas year round, man.
I know because it's a Christmas town. Like that's their theme. That's who they are.
Walmart's theme is making money, Kevin. They don't care
Yeah,
about it if
and
you
selling
like it or
crappy
anything.
stuff that does, like breaks right away as soon as you get it out of the box.
That's a whole nother conversation. The quality.
That's not just Walmart either. That's just quality of products nowadays.
I think this is the biggest disagreement me and Kevin have ever had. And I agree with you and disagree with you. That's the weird thing.
You're just calling them out on
Yeah,
it.
you're just fighting for big
I
business.
mean, I remember seeing Halloween candy in a grocery store in like July, like freaking July. I'm like, you know, anyone that bought that Halloween candy in July,
They were just going.
They-
for
they
wanted
ate
to
it
eat
before-
they weren't buying it to
before
hand
it
out
evolved.
by any
in all,
means.
in all fairness, I mean Halloween candy exists 365 days a year.
well,
It's just-
no, but it was actually packaged. For
right,
Halloween.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
like the design of it, the
Yeah.
the little decals and stuff. But you
Yeah,
know,
it's
people
the-
call it Halloween candy, and yet
yeah, they're miniature bars. But yeah.
it's the same thing. You
Yeah, I
buy in
think
the
if you
store
go
all
to
the time.
Home, like, is it Home Goods that's right next to Giant Eagle over here?
no, I haven't been over there.
I think they sell like Christmas stuff year round.
Oh, they probably do.
But it's a huge store, and I think they sell like every season year round. They want our money, dude. They want our money, Kevin.
Well, they ain't getting mine.
Unless you see something that's on a special.
Trust
and you,
me.
I hear another thing. If he sees something like he really wants, especially when it comes to next year, and he's going to put up his lights, and they got a flash sale on some icicle lights that you want in front yard, you'd be like, well, I mean,
Okay,
I
so
can-
might as well
I
get
can-
them now.
but
You're not going
there's
to be like, nope, can't buy them. It's not Christmas
all right,
season.
since we're talking Christmas in October, quick question before we wrap up: what is the most ridiculous Christmas ornament you've seen?
Most ridiculous?
Like tree ornament?
Yeah, sure.
I'm the
tree
wrong
ornament.
person to ask because I take all of them.
Oh, man.
I got 2 boxes full of them. Come on. Hey, I have the ornament lady. Well, she used to be the ornament lady. She's my mother. So she worked one of the Hallmark stores. She worked at. She was the one that had to, put out like help distribute the booklets in July when they bring it. Like they
Gotcha.
show you like what ornaments they're gonna have during the season. And when they would come in, she was the one stocking and restocking the shelves and like getting all the things up. So she got a great discount.
It's funny you mention Hallmark ornaments.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you go to my house, like they're all old, like from ornaments 60s on, and like their tradition between my stepmom and all her sisters, they always get each other new ornaments each year and stuff. And this tree, like seriously, would take up this square area over here.
I need like 3 trees. Just
I'm
for
not
ornaments.
exaggerating. Like it will like take up the whole tree, and it's just flooded with ornaments. But none of them are real like wacky or nothing. So I kind of like when I think of ornaments, I go right to
Okay,
my.
So why do you ask this question?
Well, the reason I asked this question is so I'm a huge Transformers fan, kid of the '80s, right?
Mhm.
I love Soundwave, the
Okay. Yeah.
the Decepticon tape deck, right?
Yeah.
Hallmark had a Soundwave Christmas ornament,
Did it play his voice?
it did
please?
not. It did not. But I kick myself for not buying that one because I actually love that one. The weirdest one I think I've ever seen. It was a Hallmark ornament at Kohl's, and it was a Star Wars ornament,
Yeah.
and it was. I'm trying to remember exactly which battle it was, but it was a Star Wars. It was 2 Star Wars, a Sith and a Jedi fighting, and it was titled "A Duel to the Death," because nothing says "Merry Christmas"
Oh.
like
A
a
duel
duel
to
to
the
the
Might as
death.
well had when Kylo Ren killed what's his name?
Oh, Snoke.
Yeah, no, not Snoke, but
His
his, dad.
father?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of-
Han Solo?
Yeah, I was like, why can't I think of his name right now? When I think of the one off name, but I can't remember Han Solo. But yeah, might as well just have a Hallmark scene with him just stabbing him right in the gut, like
All I
the
know
death
is
to his father.
all
Happy
I know.
Merry Christmas.
I'll close with this. The guy you just saw ranting about that, it will be a totally different guy come December 1st. And I feel bad for Jana and Lincoln that they have to deal with me come December 1st. But we got a long time till then. We got a lot of Browns games to break down. Cavs season getting going.
Kevin Claus is coming to town.
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. Especially trying to, like, I want to see the look on my kid's face, like opening all these like great toys, because like I still want to play with these toys, and I'm getting them so I can like play with them when you go to sleep. Type thing. Again, that'll all come, but plenty more to talk about. There's a new Guardians manager that'll be in town at some point, and we'll talk about it all. We'll break it all down. As any sport, any topic, we'll probably break it down right here on the Voice Land, part of the Big Play family, tonight on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe at
Voice of
Voice of the Land Podcast. That means it's time to go when you keep forgetting things. At VT_pod on social media, on X or Twitter or whatever they're calling it. Don't really care. For Always Positive Jay and Peter Tellep, I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all, 3,000.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Live life, all gas, no brakes. We'll see you next time on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.